Took a while, didn't it? Hello everybody, this is Enclave Emily, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit special, and by special I mean I'm gonna end up in a fucking mental institution. You see, some time ago I responded to a guy who lectured me and educated me that name-calling people and calling people SJWs is not right, so I'm going to be responding to a video by an SJW, saying SJW things, and I sure as hell won't be calling him an SJW for it. But I also want to focus on the points brought up in the video. I don't want to make fun of the guy that we're gonna be responding to for anything else. I just want to focus on his points and respond to him as seriously and calmly as I can. KFC loyalist.
I've been thinking a lot about the Andrew Tate situation and how he was banned off of all social media platforms because of the rhetoric he divulged in over the course of his career. And after seeing all of the takes pile up about what his ban means, after seeing all of these takes pile up about deplatforming in general, I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people are full of shit on here.
Have you finished tying your noose, dear viewer? Because I'm kinda needing help with mine. Let's start off with the obvious. Divulge is to make known. You cannot divulge in. Secondly, I think he took down this video because he definitely found out that Andrew Tate came back to Twitter. And totally wasn't because of the fact that this video is absolutely god-awful, as you will see. And I don't want to take credit here because I'm not egotistical. I am. But the timing of him deleting his video right after I left a comment is kinda suspicious. Now, in case you don't know who Andrew Tate is, it's edgy boy who said edgy things about women. He has some takes that are actually pretty reasonable if you look past the absolutely god-awful way in which he says it, and others which I honestly don't agree with and don't care to agree with. And let me give you an example before we proceed, because this guy has absolutely no fucking clue what he's talking about, and it's pretty obvious that he's just heard some people saying Andrew Tate bad, and therefore he thinks Andrew Tate bad. The Andrew Tate quote that stuck with me is that time he said that women who have been with 30 guys are spoilt, and are more spoiled in comparison to women that have only been with one guy or no guy at all. Now, fucking awful way of saying it. Now, let me put this in perspective. Let's say that you're straight. Just kidding. None of you are fucking straight. Me neither anyway, but yeah, none of you are straight. Get the fuck out of here with that. But let's say that you're a straight male and you're looking for a relationship with a female. Who are you gonna go for? Who are you gonna go for if you're looking for a serious long-term relationship? Are you gonna go with the one that's been with 30 guys, or are you gonna go with the one that's been with only one guy? Much less likely that the one that's been with 30 guys is gonna take the relationship seriously, so you can sort of see the point here. Now, I'm telling you this because this guy is going to go on and justify Andrew Tate's deplatforming and other people's deplatforming in a... How should I put this? A very peculiar way later, and he's just going to assume that you think that Andrew Tate equals bad every single time. And I can already hear the screeching at the people who think I'm defending Andrew Tate. Jesus Christ. God, what's up with this face that he's putting on, as if he's contemplating reality or something? I mean, look at this face. That face when you just nutted and you're contemplating the existence of God, like fucking hell, man. I know that that's just his two brain cells trying to produce a coherent sentence, but it's really obnoxious to have to edit something out every 5 seconds because he keeps pausing to say 1 or 2 words. It's really fucking obnoxious, I'll be completely honest. Who the fuck is messaging me on Steam? Well, whatever. Let's continue.
Banning Andrew Tate is good for free speech.
Hey viewer, are you fucking done with your noose? Because I really need help to finish mine already. I can't handle this. Also, no, I swear I didn't edit out anything there. That is legitimately how he continues his video. He goes from Andrew Tate got deplatformed and a lot of people are full of shit to censorship is good for freedom. The exact thing that is the antithesis to free speech is good for free speech. You're gonna have to explain a lot of things here, buddy.
So, what do I mean by that? A lot of people have this misconception where they think that because they have the freedom to speak on things, that means that they should have the right to divulge in information that's like directly harmful to people. And that's not the case.
Yes, it is. It's not that they should have the right to say harmful things, it's that they already do have the right to say harmful things. Let me explain here the basic concept of a God-given right. I know, I have to explain basic concepts, but what do you expect when you're talking to an SJW? A God-given right is something that you are born with and have the capability to do. Imagine, for example, that right now you are just plopped onto a deserted island. Can you do it? Can you think it? Congratulations, that's a God-given right. Now imagine, for example, that another person shows up on this deserted island. You can't kill them because that's not a right, and your freedom ends where another person's freedom begins. But guess what? Words do not impede anyone from enjoying their God-given right. So, much to my annoyance, you, TSV, can say whatever you want, and much to your annoyance, I can also say that you're a retarded nigger. And by the way, TSV, what do you define as harmful? What is harmful speech?
If you're literally going on Facebook and inciting violence against a group of people by calling them groomers, which a lot of people think are like pedophiles, well, it literally is. That's literally what it means, is you're like a pedophile or whatever. Although not necessarily, because like you can technically be an adult and be groomed, but that's beside the point. When you say that shit, that is no longer free speech, right? Like, that's a threat.
Hold on, I need to clean my monitor. I just spit my drink all over it. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me see if I got this right. Let me just pause here for a second. What did I just hear? So literally going on Facebook, as opposed to, you know, figuratively going on Facebook or something, I don't know. And calling someone a groomer is an incitement to violence and a threat. No, it's an accusation and a categorization. Now, I don't want to incite violence against anybody, but TSV, if your primary example of harmful speech is people calling out pedophiles, then not only do I think that I am justified in disregarding your argument in its entirety, but I am also starting to think that you're a male feminist. If the accusation is false, you can say this is false because X, Y, and Z. But calling someone a name is not a threat, barring a few very rare exceptions. Exceptions which depend entirely on context. How dare you call someone a groomer for trying to give puberty blockers to kids? Puberty blockers, which, by the way, if given to kids, can completely stop their neurological development. You know, I'm gonna use my Jesus-given powers that I totally have to predict that in the future, TSV is going to reveal himself to be a groomer by, I don't know, using terminology that excuses pedophile activity or something. There's a term for that, MAP, minor attracted person, but TSV wouldn't. He wouldn't defend pedophiles. This is just a bad example. He wouldn't do that, would he?
Now, how does that relate to Andrew Tate? Well, Andrew Tate, as you all know, spouted very regressive, anti-woman rhetoric that I would argue at least incites for men to treat women unfairly. He also promoted toxic masculinity, things of that nature. And I'm going to link various sources down in the description for you to go look deeper into this yourself if you really want to. This is just kind of a dialogue that I'm having right now. But that's the case, so
I was gonna skip this part if it wasn't for two things. First, the fact that he just states this is how it is, and secondly, the fact that he mentioned toxic masculinity. He did not link any sources in the description when this video was still up, I can tell you that much, so no, TSV, it is not the case. And even if it universally was, that does not justify his deplatforming, and anyone who is dumb enough to follow Andrew Tate advice, which is treating women like objects, basically, is gonna get fucked for it. And it's just based overall, let's be honest. I want to be treated like a shelf. You put nice things on me and all. And this toxic masculinity shit. Now, if you aren't aware, people call basic masculine traits toxic masculinity. And you may be saying, well, Emily, isn't saying that women are objects, let's assume it's literally that, isn't that toxic masculinity? No, that's just misogyny. And then, even if it was toxic masculinity, we have to get back to the point. How the fuck does this justify Andrew Tate being removed? Is being sexist banned now? Because goddamn, a lot of fucking pink-haired retards are gonna get banned if that's the case.
Free speech is not something for you to just hurl around because you feel like saying some shit.
Yes, it is. If I call someone a fucking degenerate idiot, then someone else also has the right to say that I'm wrong. And I'm never wrong, but that's just an example there. Words only have the power you give them. It's something that your parents probably taught you as a kid. And even if someone calls me the worst of things, then I can just simply say I don't care and move on with my day. And I do not in any way think that people should be banned for simply insulting me. By all means, insult me in the comments if you want. And I know that even if people bring up the bogus 41% statistic, I know that I'm still at an advantage compared to this guy because at least my arteries aren't fully clogged.
some people have argued that things that offend us should still be allowed online, but if they truly believed that, then there wouldn't be all of these inconsistencies that I'm seeing. So a lot of these, like, centrist into right-leaning people think that Andrew Tate should have stayed on because it's better for bad ideas to be challenged publicly in the public square instead of, like, banning him outright. But those same people want maps banned, like actual pedophiles banned from the platform.
What in the actual Jesus-hating motherfucking son of a goddamn cunt did I just hear? For starters, yes, things that offend you should stay on the platform. You should be able to say things that offend others because offense is subjective. You should not, most certainly not, be taking people down because you're offended. Because what you find offensive, I might find hilarious, and what you find hilarious, I might find offensive. He did just out himself as a leftist, though, so there's absolutely no surprise to the fact that he cannot comprehend this. But then we get to the brutally offensive part. Oh, wait, did I just say it's offensive? Should TSV be taken down? But we do just get to the absolute brainlet part where he compares people offending one another to being against fucking pedophiles being on a platform. TSV, one is hurt feelings, the other are literal fucking child predators gaining access to people that are underage. You saw how he used map first before he correctly identified them as pedophiles. The fact that he used the term map before pedophile means that he is predisposed into being more lenient against pedophiles, which, given the fact that he's a fucking SJW leftist and a male feminist, I am not surprised in the slightest. That he would call pedos by the unoffensive name before being more direct. But can we just go back here and talk about this fucking comparison for a second? How in the fuck do you compare fucking offending people, saying things that are offensive, which again is subjective based on who is saying it and who it's being said to, and then just fucking comparing it to pedophiles gaining access to kids on a platform? Now don't get me wrong here, I don't think pedophiles should be barred from uttering a single word for the rest of their lives. I just think they should be shot. But you see what TSV did here? He just thinks he gotcha there. Because you think that you should say whatever the fuck you want, but you also think that pedophiles shouldn't be allowed on platforms in which kids and underage people typically frequent. He really is a male feminist, isn't he? Also, let me just add that not only is it not an inconsistency, yes, you should debate things in the public square instead of banning them, because banning them doesn't actually prove him wrong. Hey, you know that guy that said that 2 + 2 = 4 got banned on Twitter? Well, I guess 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. You fucking Big Mac enjoyer.
Surely, if you know, we have all these people who are these great thinkers willing to challenge maps, right? Surely we can help people out by challenging them, right? Obviously not. Like, a pedophile is not going to listen to what you have to say.
Listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Of course a pedophile isn't gonna listen to what you have to say, but a pedophile is a dangerous predator. And Andrew Tate saying mean things about women, even if every single thing that Andrew Tate says is brutally fucking wrong, it does not make Andrew Tate a predator. And now you see why I can't take so many people fucking seriously, because a lot of these sorts of people think that words legitimately equal violence. Words do not equal violence. But they can use these dipshit tactics and this dipshit logic to conflate I'm offended with it's basically rape. And therefore, if you support one, you must support the other having a platform as well. You see the mental gymnastics being done here? Good fucking god, if he did as much gymnastics IRL as he does mentally, then, you know, the joke about him being fat is getting old. I'm just depressed.
And once you allow these people to stay and have a platform, their ideas spread, and etc. And that's what leftist YouTubers and like video essayists talk about in relation to the debate brosphere, right? Where, you know, there's always a risk when you debate these people, there's always a risk when you challenge these people that you are spreading those ideas. And I understand that's not necessarily the other creators' fault, right? Because they didn't intend for that to happen.
Fucking kill yourself! Pedophile is not an idea. Andrew Tate's ideas only spread because you fucking idiots are too pussy to challenge them. And here's how you can tell that this guy's a basement leftist. He says that when you engage with these people, when you debate with these people, you're spreading the idea. Number one, people are naturally revolted at the idea of a pedophile. So countering someone who defends pedophiles is not difficult. That is, unless you are a leftist, which, as he admits, the concern is that the idea will spread and not that they can, you know, counter the idea. Meaning that they are too fucking stupid to be able to counter Andrew Tate's fucking points. But I have to reiterate this. Andrew Tate does not equal pedophile. Andrew Tate saying a woman object does not equal touch kid. One is a predator that will come after kids unless you put a stop to them, such as by barring access to places that kids frequent. The other is a fucking moron, which, if he truly is that much of a moron, should be easy to debunk. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, censorship is good for free speech, because if you want some guy that offended people to have a platform, then you must also want pedophiles to have access to kids. You got that? This is the state of leftism. Now, I want to remind you that leftist does not equal left-wing. Left-wing can just mean that you want more social services, you want more government benefits. Leftist is, well, this. Well, look on the bright side. At least when these nut-brained individuals are faced with societal collapse, they'll be so fat that they'll be free-rolling target practice.
But it does happen. So wouldn't it be better to just outright remove these people rather than A, keeping them around so they can spread their ideas of their own volition, and B, put the risk of you incidentally spreading their ideas through challenging them, right? Like, wouldn't that be better?
No, because if you're not a retard, you can challenge them and show your audience that they are wrong. And even if some people do end up siding with the other, who has all these awful, terrible, harmful ideas, you'll have more people on your side, who would not have a counter-argument otherwise. But you see what he's doing here? He's trying to use pedophiles to get you to agree on something with him on this premise, when we all know that this is never the case. It's never about the pedophiles, or it rarely is. Because on this premise, if you end up agreeing with him, then you must then therefore agree to ban people who are offensive, and therefore all someone has to do in the future is say this person is offensive to justify their removal. This is how they get you. They get something that you are naturally repulsed by, something that you would never agree with, and then try to say that that thing is equal to offensive language. And of course, harmful words, when we all know that saying slurs is in no way the same as siding with a child enjoyer. I'm sorry, I'm legitimately trying to make this funny and I can't. I guess that time he fell down the fucking stairs while in a Discord call really did affect his brain, didn't it?
Legally, we do have a right to remove bad ideas. Like, a lot of you don't get that, like, this is the law. We do this all the time when it comes to legislation, right? Things that we know are bad, we, what do? We pass new laws, we change existing laws, we do whatever. And if you don't think that applies to free speech, I would just encourage you to do more research. I don't know.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
If you want to make this dumbass legal argument, then why not look at the First Amendment, you fucking idiot? Look at this dumb fucking argument of just educate yourself, just do research, bro. If we know that something is bad, we make a law to remove it. Therefore, you should censor people in the name of free speech. For starters, one, how do you know that it's bad? Secondly, you are aware that when legislation is drafted, people have to talk about it to figure out whether it's a good idea to ban or keep that thing, right? Ooga booga, word bad, please ban. Please, daddy government, please censor this person that I don't like. Please censor them. They're offensive. That's right. I'm the resistance. Is there even another joke that I can make of this? Is there? I don't think there is. Anyway, let's just rush through this. Is there anything else?
If bad ideas are spread more often, if misinformation is spread more often, wouldn't that drown out the people who are actually spitting facts on these issues?
And how do you know that they're spitting facts in the first place? Because I hear that a lot of people got banned for saying that a vaccine does not stop transmission, which it doesn't, and it never did. You know a lot of people got banned for saying that, right? You know a lot of people also got banned for saying that this was developed in a lab. You know what virus I'm referring to. How do you know that printing $3 trillion in a single year isn't a bad idea, since we're using legislation as examples? Humanity evolved because of dialogue, because people debated things and figured out which way to go forward based on the best arguments. We didn't just ban because bad.
Like, the people who actually have sense aren't able to give people the proper information because it's drowned out by all this nonsense. And some of you may say, well, that's the audience member's job to look into this stuff. And I agree. The problem is, most audience members are kind of dumb.
I had a response recorded for this section, but instead of putting it here, I'm just gonna say TSV be like...
Look, here's the
We're gonna
thing.
be fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
You know what? Fuck this. I can't stand any more of this video. That's TSV there. That's TSV. Alex Jones saying that he's retarded. That's basically TSV. He acts like he's a fucking big brain. Calls audiences dumb when he is unironically dumber than a lot of the dumb audiences that I've met. He thinks that offensive words are basically the same as defending a pedophile. He thinks that having a debate with someone that says harmful things is basically the same as allowing a pedophile to spread his pedophilia. And he thinks that people should be banned because bad idea equals bad, and why is it bad? Because TSV said so. So yeah, modern day leftist type beat. This is what leftists are, and I'm honestly miserable right now. I need something to cheer me up, guys. I need something amazing, something funny, something glorious to cheer me up. I need something orange to cheer me up. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.